Okay, so this is going to be one of the first in a series, hopefully to be many of the Bay Area legends, and I'm really happy to have one of them with us today. Who are you and what do you do?
I am UNWOMAN. I am a singer, cellist, producer, songwriter from the Bay Area.
So do you like mostly to be known as UNWOMAN, or you like your regular name, like someone like a character? Like I do that with Roxy Roller. Like,
yeah.
You know, like my name, my real name, I don't use much.
You can call me UNWOMAN or Erica. Either one is fine.
Right. Okay. Cool. So if you run a tour, you got your options set.
Yeah.
So where are you at right now as far as like your career? Like, are you feeling good about it right now? Is it post COVID or is it like still building up?
Yeah. My situation is a little bit, I guess, exceptional because I started taking things down a notch before COVID because I had a kid.
Right.
And so in 2016 is when I kind of rolled things back. And the other aspect of that is that my big performance scene was the steampunk convention circuit. And steampunk kind of went out of fashion around that time as well.
I didn't even know it was here before it was gone. A little bit. You know,
well, so no, I want you to know, I am very excited for the comeback.
Right.
The comeback's going to happen in like 5 years, and I will.
So you were involved in this movement a little bit.
Yeah, I was.
So, but punk does not have much to do with the steampunk movement. Is that correct?
I would say there's a bit of punk ethos in steampunk, which is like we have the right to repair our own technology, make new things. DIY is very big in steampunk. So there are a lot of like parallel, you know.
Yeah, more of a DIY type thing.
Philosophy, yeah, parallel philosophy, aesthetically different, yeah.
And so, but that phased out. What was your role in all that? Like, how were you involved in the steampunk thing? Were you just more an act that people like to have at events, play?
That's basically it, yeah. So I went around the country mostly within the United States, but I did a few overseas gigs as well, and I would perform at conventions. If they would have a concert, I would do my set and sell lots of CDs, and people love me.
Yeah, so you're talking all over the country. That's really that's a good vehicle to get somebody like a unique act like yourself to be able to go out there and play multiple shows.
Yeah.
And have a support thing instead of just showing up at the club. And,
exactly.
Hey, I'm here.
Right, no, exactly. And so, yeah, I had been doing like the goth industrial scene for several years prior to finding steampunk. And it never really like clicked to something super, it was never quite right for me, even though that was the music I listened to, because I was playing cello and writing.
So you felt you were on the fringe of the goth scene a bit.
I felt a little fringe.
Or whatever.
Yeah, but then also like the steampunk convention circuit was such a good place to have big audiences.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, goth is culty. Like if you do, like somebody does play in the area, but there's so few of the bands around it. It's a very kind of almost, it's just sporadic.
Yeah.
Like you can't really tell any continuity in the goth scene because there's not enough bands to carry anywhere. There's one goth band and that's it in any town given. You know, one or two maybe.
Exactly.
And maybe one or two deadhead bands.
They can't play a huge number of shows and get enough people to show up either. So it's whoever's touring through.
Well, it's good. I think it's good for these times. It call for being a hybrid. And being able to be versatile because really like kind of I know the metal dudes all want to play with the exact kind of metal. Like you're Doom, they don't want to play with thrash. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me, guys. What's the problem? You have two different bands playing metal, but they limit themselves because they want to be like, well, they won't like our music. And so there's a little bit of a meathead mentality. I don't care, you metal dudes, I'm just calling it like it is.
Totally.
Right?
Well, and one of the cool things about the steampunk scene was that the music was really varied.
Okay.
There were a lot of like.
It wasn't specifically a sound so much.
There is no one
more of an aesthetic.
steampunk sound. Yeah, and we had like a lot of kind of goth-ish bands, but there were a lot of folk bands, cabaret, old-timey stuff.
Can you mention maybe some of the cities that you ended up playing that were of note?
Oh, sure.
You said you went all over the country.
Yeah. There were a bunch of events in New Jersey, Pennsylvania. Seattle was the big one though. Seattle was the first steampunk event I played was called SteamCon, That was in 2009.
Right.
And actually, the way that I first got into it was I was playing with this band called Unwornan Process, which is from the Bay Area, which is one of the first acts to actually call themselves steampunk. And I was playing cello with them, and they brought me up to SteamCon, and I got to do an opening set, and everyone loved me. And then it was like, well, this is obviously
You're pretty lovable.
Thank you. Well, it was like I found my scene. So career-wise, I can't complain too much because doing the steampunk circuit, playing a lot of shows all over the place, people had me out to Montana, and I would like go.
That's impressive that you got to do all that.
I'd be really cool. Like I would do like a driving tour, and I would make like $100, but then I'd get to the convention, and I'd have a guarantee of like $800 plus sell merch, and then I'd go back home and
That's a pretty good guarantee. Like,
I know.
It's good enough for one person, especially.
Yes, exactly. But it's just like if I were just to do a tour without the steampunk thing, I would not make any money because the stops on the way were small.
You would lose. You would, in the end of it, you would lose money.
Exactly.
Period.
Exactly.
Period. Because there's not a convention or some other larger thing around it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of even major acts are sometimes they're conglomerating and playing like a show that will be with a shorter set and kind of compromise, not really the whole thing, but they're making more money and just getting much more exposure.
Totally. Yeah, so I had that exposure, which, exposure is kind of a dirty word, but real exposure, real exposure, which is not what most people are selling.
I don't know why is it? I mean, it's kind of like, it has those connotations, but so does a lot of things.
I know why. It's because a lot of shitty promoters are like, it'll be great exposure for you, and they're lying. Whereas a show that actually is good exposure...
There's other ways that words used.
Yeah. Like if it actually is real exposure, then it's worth your time.
Yeah, absolutely. And you found this to be that thing.
Absolutely.
And again, like, how did you get involved in this whole scene? Is it through your job or?
It was through So Josh Pfeiffer was in Vernon Process.
I know that.
Yeah, DJ Bartlett.
I think we wore it a little bit at one point, but everybody just got this DJ thing, and everybody fuck you, and then fuck you.
Oh yeah.
I don't think it was. I heard he's a really nice guy.
He's really sweet,
but I went against somebody.
I'm not gonna trash talk him. He's very sweet. He feels very passionately about things, and everyone is everyone is occasionally wrong. These things happen. But I think he's DJ Barbary Ghost now. But he was in that band, and we had known each other from the goth scene for like a long time.
Yeah.
And
what band was he in?
Vernon Process.
Okay, I think I've heard of him a little bit.
Yeah. And they never made it big. I think the second act to call their music steampunk was Abney Park.
Right. And
they were also there at the SteamCon in 2009. So that was a big year for me. So yeah, Seattle was a big city for me to play in. I had great times really everywhere.
But since that died out right now, you're just kind of like you're coasting on a little bit of the after.
Yes.
The afterglow of that.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So I started a Patreon in 2015.
Right.
Right before I got pregnant, and then I've been focusing on recording since then mostly. And I play live locally when I can.
Okay.
I actually have a couple shows coming up soon, which is great.
So I mean, I don't want to get too into it like right off the bat. So can you tell me a little bit about why you chose the name Unwoman?
Oh, sure, yeah. I read The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood in the year 2000 when I was in college. And there were a lot of politicians just talking about absolutely very regressive, unfortunately it hasn't gone away yet, right-wing, anti...
We're in a boat up the creek a little bit.
Yeah. It's
bad, but I still have faith in it because we have to.
We have to have hope that it will get better, yes. But unwomen in the book The Handmaid's Tale are the ones who don't become handmaids for whatever reason. And I chose that name as like, I will not be defined by these, gender roles. And
a friend of mine, I guess, goblins, I'm not going to talk about it personally. Something like my not girlfriend or something. It's like this negative to a positive. And then, but it wasn't anything like where it was necessarily about your gender so much as just about your identity outside of that.
Yeah, well, I don't want anyone to have expectations of me based on what they perceive.
I think they would be curious why you shouldn't, they would think that there was some kind of a transition of sorts.
Yeah.
That would be the first suggestion there. But you're saying that's not what happened.
No, it's not.
If people don't understand you, I'm just saying, you don't have to explain yourself, but if you want to just...
No, totally. I mean, I consider myself probably non-binary.
Right.
But woman is one of the genders that I perform, so I'm totally fine with she, her pronouns. I think that we all perform gender.
I'm gonna leave it. That's your personal stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, no. It's
I would say that, but you were pregnant, so you were born a lady, like just so people would understand your roots.
I am a cis woman.
Yeah. Okay. I had no idea. I don't assume anything.
No, that's fine. I am a cis woman with PCOS. I have had a baby. And
how's that? What you're talking about right now, your baby's pretty young, right?
He's 7 now.
Okay, well, still a kid.
Yeah, actually, his birthday is on election day. It's terrible.
Oh no,
terrible.
Right, that is kind of terrible. And we wouldn't do these in maybe some increments for the people who are watching this know to go check for other videos because we're gonna have a little coffee and do a little sound test. So we want to make sure that the video's top quality for you guys. So, but just a little bit like what led you to being a mom? Like, how did that happen?
I always wanted to.
Oh, you do? You had
to? Yeah, I always wanted to. And it was interesting, in 2014, my dad was sick with lymphoma.
Right.
And I don't know, something about that made me feel compelled to carry on.
I understand
the
that, the mortality of it and just carrying on the bloodline. And,
yes, exactly.
And kind of letting him know that there's a little bit there's
something.
Are you an only child?
Yes, I'm an only child, and I have an only child. But yeah, it was just.
And you're not having another, you're saying?
Definitely not.
I know people say it's pretty traumatic. I've had friends say that Evan's wife was she never really recovered from the horror. A little bit of it is almost like a horror movie, like Alien. You know, something coming. I mean, you hate to say there's that element.
So yes, babies are precious and wonderful gifts and all that stuff.
But it's a little scary. I think I'd just be
terrified.
A little bit horror. You know, just with the blood and just the reality. That this life, this whole entity, is coming right out from inside you.
Yes.
And there's going to be this person walking in the world, the gravity of that.
It's been a whole amazing journey. There's been a lot of positive. There's been a lot of...
Sacrifice.
Sacrifice is a good word for it, yeah.
And there's no other way to do it. I don't think... Nobody has to be born. So, they did not have a choice in that equation. So it is up to each and every individual to kind of be make their own way and find their own happiness.
Yeah.
But up until they're about 10, 12, you're going to be the director of their kind of life.
That is so true. And my son sometimes complains that he was born. He's like, you shouldn't have had me. I'm like, dude.
Well, that's just what I just feel sorry. Kids feel very sorry for us a little bit.
I took him out of public school and he's homeschooled now.
Have you ever second guessed making that decision?
I'm not allowed to say that I
don't say it.
So I'm not going to answer that question. Okay, yeah. But you think you can surmise?
No, yeah, just use
for my answer.
Yeah, I think everybody has their moments.
It's a decision.
Self-doubt, you know.
Yeah, and actually, I knew going into it. And I had the baby alone. I had the baby with a sperm donor. So that's the other side of it.
That is a huge side of it. So you never really didn't have get to be in a normal household where there was dad somewhere.
It's my fault. But
it's not your fault, it's just your choice.
No. He does have a dad because I met Tom while I was pregnant. Mm-hmm. And so he hasn't and Tom was
not the father of the kid.
He's not the biological father, but he's the only father and he's been down.
Yeah.
And I have to say, that is amazing. It's more than I thought. It's something that
as an artist, any artist who takes that on, I just have mad respect for it. And also just understand this that the sacrifice because you only have to think about you. That the money that you're making is different as far as being an artist, and also just the time that you put into it.
Yes.
Which is especially when they're little, and you go I'm going to go out and you're going to be with whoever I'm dumping you off. You got a babysitter. Sometimes maybe they weren't that tight with them, but
totally.
I think that he'll be all right. What's his name?
His name is Pickles.
Pickle.
Pickles.
Pickle. The first name.
His name he has a different legal name.
Okay.
But he found out that his nickname while I was first pregnant was Pickles because I ate a lot of spicy pickles. And he thought
I'm down with that.
So cute.
Is that something unique as opposed to Steve or Joe? You're
you're
I'm not going to name my kid Bill, William. Maybe nothing wrong with that name.
Nothing wrong with it.
Billy's a great name.
He has a cool legal name. I think it's a cool legal name. He doesn't like it. I'm not going to share it because he hates it.
You don't share it. I'd rather,
I'm just saying.
Always respect
he was named after someone very cool, but he'll understand later.
But you really don't know what you're going to get when you have a kid, right? It's kind of like a lot of people have an alternative lifestyle and end up with a kind of conservative kid.
Yes.
Do you think that might be the case in this one, where he'll gravitate towards like less the looseness and maybe more towards the stability?
He is absolutely at his core an anarchist. He's an anarchist.
Oh, okay. Are you an anarchist?
Yes.
Okay. So if you didn't know, now you do.
I think everyone knew that.
Anarchy's like, I really believe in it so much up to a point. You know,
I'm a realist as well. I don't think that we can abolish the prison industrial complex tomorrow.
No, there's no way to run society right now and any civilization without some kind of, like anarchy would just be like, wow, I'm just going to go up there and rape that old lady, like that.
No, it's not.
And that's not necessarily anarchy in itself, but anarchy would have anything and everything included.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's one of the misconceptions when someone hears you're an anarchist. You're like, okay, you want to break every single law right now, immediately.
That's not what anarchy means to me, but it just means there's not that many boundaries.
Well, what it means is
it's
that
anarchy.
The rules are agreed upon by the people the rules affect, as opposed to the rules being enforced from the top down. But we still can have societal rules. They're just rules that work for the people rather than for oppressive structures.
Yeah, just that word in and of itself has a lot of connotations. So we're gonna get even more chaotic and anarchic after a little coffee. So we'll be back with more.
I'm sure but
Erica.
to answer the question, I'm sure there are ways that my son will rebel. One of them right now is that he hates it when we sing in the house. He only wants the music he wants, which is part of his autism. So
I don't like when you're singing.
He likes it when I'm singing if he has chosen to come listen to me sing.
It's just jealous of the art and there's resentments towards it,
I don't
know. I'm saying that could maybe it's just the aesthetic, just really doesn't like it.
I think his sensory stuff is very sensitive and he's very particular about what he hears. So that's
the kids of today. I found even Evan's kids are so particular about the food he's gonna eat. And there's one thing he goes, no, I don't eat that at all. Even until he was 8, I didn't have that choice as a kid. My mom, they put it on the plate and you either ate it or you got yelled at and said, do it. So you kids today, we fought the good fight for you guys.
There's children starving in Africa.
But all you could just say is even though I'm happy I'm not born into this time. On the child subject, because to be a kid right now facing the future that humanity and this world has, compared to when it was rough then, there's gas crisis, there's all these other things that came up, but I just think that just let the hope, the dream is the American dream is a little bit dead right now. You can make it in tech and stuff, but there's something more wholesome about those times.
I totally agree. It's rough now. Yeah,
and we have rock stars, on the albums, they were like superheroes. These are gatefold sleeves, and there's David Bowie, and just you look at the PM, there's some glamour to it, but it just doesn't have the mystique.
Absolutely.
And so we feel blessed with that. But we'll be back in a little bit, and so just look for part 2 after you watch this part 1. Thanks again.